Hi and welcome to Ocean Yemi channel. Today I'm gonna do what I really love, a presentation on the Orishas. I might have to do another one, but I'll see how this one goes because I had a bit of time on my hands, so you have to take advantage of these things. So, first and foremost, who are the Orishas? Let me just pull it up. Right, because I love the Orishas so much, I really do. Who are the Orishas? The deities or gods worshipped in Cuban Yoruba Lucumí, Santería, and Brazilian Candomblé, Umbanda religions are called Orishas. They are all representatives of Olodumare, the supreme being, who placed the Orishas on earth to help and supervise humankind. The Orishas are mentors between the human and the spiritual realm and are a major source of communication with the supreme being. Originally in Europe, our land that span time Nigeria, Togo, and Benin. Many Orishas are worshipped, although a lot of the Orishas survived in transatlantic slavery trade. Some were lost because of the slavery. The Orishas that did survive had to be depicted in order to ensure survival. In Cuba and Brazil, though Catholic Semitism and many Orishas have associated with Catholic saints. As a result, the Orishas were and are still referred to as Santeros or saints in both countries. Moreover, because of each country history, certain Orishas exist in Brazil that are no longer in practice in Cuba. Each Orisha is related to some aspect of nature and is in charge of some element of human existence. The Orishas represent all qualities of the divine and the divine, but are also human-like, like in their characters. Each Orisha has its likes and dislikes, the laikis, prayers, and beads, and specific numbers. The human-like attributes of the Orishas play a very important role in the development and the continuity of the religion. Since they have virtues and flaws like humans, practitioners are able to relate to their Orishas deeply, thus continuing a bond between the deity and the devotee that is built on a personal relationship with identification with an Orisha. The following is the basic description of Elegua, Eshu, Yemaya, Ocean, three notable Lucumí and Candomblé Orishas, their roles and characteristics. Okay, so my favorite is Elegua Eshu. So his number is number 3. He wears red, black, and white, symbolizing life and death. His festival day is January the 6th and June 13th. Okay, let's get to it. As the messenger, Elegua opens and closes every religious act. He is found at crossroads and corners on the seashore and the river at the door to our homes. Elegua is also spelt Elegua, Elewa, Elegba was the fruit-tipped Orisha created by Rumala, and is the key in every religious practice, because he's the first one they call on. Well, him and Orumala. Where am I? Elegua is everywhere and ever present. He represents and links between good and evil and observes everything that occurs in life in order to report it to Olorun. Known for having over 100 roads, manifestations, Elegua is usually depicted as a little boy. Some of his manifestations as Eshu, Lare, I forgot the talkative one. Eshu, the one who roams alone in the wild. Eshueya, the one who lives at the edge of the river and the sea. Eshu Ololong, the owner of the world. He is mischievous and the key holder of fate. When one acts accordingly, he grants blessings. When one is unruly, he opens up the gates of misfortune, punishing those with loss, death, diseases, tragedy. When one receives their warriors, one of the first initiation processes into Lucumí religion, the devotee receives the protection of Elegua, Ogun, and Ochosi. In Brazil, he is referred to as Eshu. So he's one of my favorite ones, definitely. Little trickster, God bless him. But not only that, I think also children. There's also an article I came across. They said that how you have to take care of children. Like most Eshu people who have Eshu on their heads, they're good with children. They're good with tarot cards. They have so many strings to them. So Eshu he's really quite a funny character. He knows how to trip you up, basically. And yeah, Eshu, he's just what can I say? He's just a god to be reckoned with, really. I mean, I know they say that they're depicted a certain way, but there's many avenues to Eshu, just like all the rest of them. Yemoja, Ogun in particularly. Everybody says that Ogun is the god. He is the god of war. I want to find him really because I like Ogun as well. Ogun is the god of war. He is very much. He has many avenues too. He's a healer and all sorts. He's just like there's many bounds to these Orishas. They're not just. It's not just the ones that are very popular. Is really Oshun, Yemaja, Obatala. Yeah, there's the popular ones, but I think when a devotee gets what they're given and they go back and they get another lane, they get another journey, you know. So that's why when people play with Orishas, and if they're not knowing what they're doing, particularly, not only that, right, I think it's best to know a proper practitioner of the Orisha, because they can guide you to what needs to be done. You know, like Santería, which I'm going to pull up soon. Santería is actually, I think, Santería or Lucumí, because Santería is a bastardized name of Lucumí. So, like in all the ceremonies, like Ogun, they always call on Eshu and, you know, the supreme being of all of them. So, you know, the Orishas is very complex. I don't think there's any of this. Some information on here is accurate, but sometimes it's best to get it from a practitioner who deals with the Orishas, because they are dealing with them firsthand because they are the messengers to the people. So they're the ones who let you know, okay, this is happening, that is happening, this is happening. Okay, you need to go do this, you need to go do that. So that's the most I can say on that one. So I'm going to stop this one and we're going to go to, oh, no, we're going to go to, if it would load, oh, there we go. So there's another one as well of about the Santería people, the deities. You know, this is about the Santería deities, you know, as well, which is the same with what I just said before. The Eshu, the Yemaya, the Obatala, the Ogun, the what you call it, the disease one, Baba Luaye, who deals with diseases and stuff. So yeah, anyway, let's just go. The Santeria deities. The religion forces on building relationships between the human beings and the powerful but mortal spirits, which I already said from previous, called Orishas. And Orisha is a manifestation of Orumala. Followers believe that these spirits will give them help in life if they carry out the appropriate rituals and enable them to achieve the destiny that God planned for them before they were born. This is very much a more mutual relationship, as the Orishas need to be worshipped by human beings if they are to continue existence. So there was a case, I think this is the case they're talking about, a case where a guy, he was a Santeria priest and he bought chickens to do the sacrifices, and I think they tried to take him in. But anyway, let's see. In a Supreme Court case in 1993, Justice Kennedy, in his decision called, the Santeria faith teaches that every individual has a destiny from God, and a destiny from God, a destiny fulfilled with the aid and energy of the Orishas. The basis of the Santeria religion is the nurture of a personal relation with the Orishas. One of the principal forms of the devotion is an animal sacrifice. According to Santeria teaching, the Orishas are powerful but not immortal. They depend on the survival on the sacrifice. Orishas can be perceived in the physical universe by initiates, and the whole community can share in their presence when they possess a priest during some rituals. Now, there is a bit of Catholicism in the Lucumí community. Like there's like the Roman Catholic. So I think in Cuba, there's a lot of Catholic churches. So what they do, even after they've done certain ceremonies, sometimes they will go to the Catholic churches. The Roman Catholic element in the Santeria is most obvious in the Orishas are associated with Catholic saints. Santa Barbara, Shango, who embodies justice, strength, and is associated with lightning and fire. Our Lady of Charity, Oshun, the Yoruba goddess of the river, associated with water, yellow, sweets, money, love. Saint Lazarus, Babalueye, is associated with the sick. Right, so that's all they say on this one. But at first, what you call it? The Santeria was looked on as not good and all that before. But anyway, that's just another thing that I have to go into another time. So I'm going to show you these beautiful arts, the arts that represents these gods, because everybody, I think, have a little bit of Oshun in them. They have a little bit of Yemaya. They have a little bit of Babaluaye. They have a little bit, you know, everybody, we all carry certain, oh, which one is it? We all carry certain aspects of the gods, indirectly, directly, I think. I think anyway, personally, I think this, I don't know if I can get it clear. I just love the depictions of them, you know, the depictions of them, because even though there is white likenesses of them, there's black likenesses of them as well. So when people say, oh yeah, well, because of the likeness or whatever, just remember that some of the gods had to be hidden from certain slave masters, whatever, and especially they had to practice their religion. So now people have a chance now to depict these gods as how they should look, you know. And to me, even if people don't give reference to them, because at the same time, like I said, I'm not judging nobody on who they believe in, because everybody have their journey and they know where they're going and they know what they're about. It's just finding your journey. Sometimes you could be searching for years, you don't know who, what, maybe what, you don't know. But I found that when I discovered the Orishas, because I discovered them by accident, considering my background of where I come from, because I come from a strict spiritual Baptist house. So finding these beings is like on a whole nother level. So I think, oh, I can hear someone approach. Oh, where is that? I think we got too many screens open. Now it's playing up. Here we go, here we go, here we go. You know me, I'm always getting kicked out of this screen, you know, it's like real funny. Anyways, yeah, so let's get with it. That's not the one I want. Or maybe it is. Right, T-Ho. See if I can add this to the screen. We don't want to. Oh, there we go. See, there's just, yeah. Anyways, now Yoruba land was the spiritual home of the Orisha. Well, that's one of the homes. There's many homes. There's Benin. There's Togo. There's a lot of places. So I'm just covering the ones that I've studied on mainly. I mean, I could go into a lot of things, could be all deep, and you know, I don't want, like, sometimes, you know, the basic stuff is where you start with everything. You start with the basic, you get to know the origin, where it come from, all that stuff. So to me, this is like how I started to learn. Now, what is the Yoruba religion? Yoruba beliefs and origins. Let me see if we could find the religion. The Yoruba religion system consists of traditional practices, corresponds of traditional practices and spiritual concepts, which has evolved into a robust religious system. The Yoruba traditional religion believes that all human beings pass through what is known as Ayamo, which is translated to destiny or fate. Therefore, according to the Yoruba, humans are eventually expected to become one in spirit with the divine creator, who is also the source of all energy, a state action or thought of an individual in the physical realm interact with other living things. Each tries to achieve and find destiny in spiritual spectrum. According to the religion, and individual who stops growing spirituality in or any aspect of their lives are destined for invisible shades, life and death. In Yoruba religion, belief system is a continuous cycle of existence in different forms of the physical body, while an individual spirit evolves towards transcend. Tries to remember and claim the future they mapped out before they came into the world. God is an all powerful being who is not limited by gender and is the supreme deity among the Yoruba community. It is believed that he lives in the sky. The community between people and God, Orumala, is carried out by the inceptors commonly known as the Orishas. I can hear my daughter coming, so so basically, it's like, once again, it comes down between life and death. Like, you when you come to earth, before you even come to earth, before your mother and father created you, you already formed a map of who you are, what you're gonna be, whatever. It's just a matter of you finding out who that is after you've reached here, because you have to fulfill your destiny, whatever your destiny is. Some find the destiny, some don't. So yeah. So let me also I have to show them again because of that big block in between. See, these are all beautiful depictions of the Orishas, the beautiful depictions. So now I'm going to show you an example of a person who was into Christianity. Now they left. They're into the ancient African faith, because that's what it really is. It's an ancient African faith. Okay, I left Christianity for ancient African faith. The Yoruba religion helped me overcome immense grief and connected me with my ancestors. When my father died, I stopped believing in God. I was 15 years old and it was 2009. He passed away from a heart attack on the front porch front porch of our house. My family tried to comfort me with sayings like "Lord has called him home," but those words offended me. Offered me no solace. I couldn't understand God's plan as I gulped with how empty I felt. I missed him so much. I call his cell phone just to hear him on the voicemail. Before my dad transcended, I was part of a vast majority of African Americans in the country who belonged to the Christian religion. My dad grew up in Hampton, Virginia, and was a Christian man. Our house was built around the church. Bible quotes was plastered on the walls. My dad would play gospel music by artists like Marvin Sapp on Sunday mornings. Unfortunately, his death left me with so many questions that I felt Christianity wasn't able to answer. How could I believe in the Father after losing mine? For more than 5 years, praying as hard for me. I wondered why I should talk to God, who had caused me so much pain. But after years of grieving, I found my way back to God through an ancient African religion. The Yoruba faith has given me the answers I could not find on my own, brought me closer to the powers and greater than myself, helped me overcome the pain of losing the first man I ever loved. One of the reasons Christianity ceased to feel like something I could claim for my own, especially when I was in the depths of grief over my father, was its history of racial oppression, coupled with my personal experience with racism. It became increasingly difficult for me, a young woman, to seek salvation in the religion, and that had largely the lie of the pale blue-eyed Jesus. Later, I learned about Christianity, early history in the Middle East and Northern Africa, connected with many of Christ's universal lessons. However, when I was moaning, the religion just didn't feel like it could fit me. It could lift me out of my grief. But indistrictly knew that if I wanted to mend from my father's death, I would need to connect with something. At first, I simply started exploring my history as a Black person. I found a foundation for this explanation at Everybody's Place, a Black-owned Baltimore bookstore that has been in the community for 31 years. The two-story shop often smells of frankincense and myrrh, maintains a steady flow of patrons purchasing everything from imported cowrie necklaces to books by Queen Afua. My father was always adamant about education, so by taking a productive approach to studying the history of Black people, I felt like I was doing the work he would have wanted me to do. Everybody's Place is where I began to immerse myself in the ideas of thinkers like El Haji Malik El Shabazz, Dr. Francis Quest Wilson, Assata Shakur. I read these authors to remember myself. Their ideas, their thoughts were part of a unique healing process, one that tore down my self-hatred, built up a sense of Black collectivism, and gave me more cement ideas on how to navigate the world as a strong Black woman. Without the protection and supervision of my father, I missed my dad deeply and still woke up early on Sunday morning hoping to hear the sound of gospel music. But as these rituals faded, new rituals will come soon, come to fill that place. By the time I came across the University of Baltimore's Cuba Study Abroad program, I was totally ready to heed the call of my ancestors and connect with something greater than myself. I quickly learned that the Yoruba religion is a spiritual system that had covertly survived the violence and rape and legation of mid-Atlantic slave trade. The Yoruba people were one of the largest ethnic groups brought against their will to the Western world. They hailed from West Africa in what will be considered the Benin Republic, Togo, southwestern Nigeria today. Although these people saw the devil in the form of the slave trade, they brought their gods across the sea with them. The Ifa religion, which is generally referred to as the Yoruba religion today. Wow, so look. Despite efforts by white Christians to re-educate the Yoruba faith, the spiritual system survived across the African diaspora through the subquentification with the other religions. Today, the Yorubas has many names and verifications. In Brazil, it is called Candomblé, the Candomblé. In Trinidad and Tobago, they call it Obia. In Haiti, it is known as voodoo. In American South, it is called voodoo. It's voodoo, but it's called voodoo. And in Cuba, Mexico, Afro Latino communities in North America, it is referred to as Santería or Rola de Ocha, which often links their diverse practices across the African diaspora. Is their origin in the traditional Yoruba faith, their reverence for the ancestors, their rites of passage. An initiate is trained by the elders for many years before they can become a Babalawo, which means fathers of mystery, or a Ilewa, which means mother of mysteries. Often many initiates will travel back to the religious homeland, Nigeria, for the portion of the initiation. So yeah, there's a lot. So she's setting up her altar now. So she gave up a whole explanation, this lady. The fact that the Yoruba religion is still practiced today represents the powerful ability to survive in the face of generational trauma, and seemingly unsurmountable obstacles. Now let's see who her mother is. Oh, she went to Spain. So it's a lot to read. I'm actually gonna put this one underneath the description so you can read it for yourself, because it's a lot to read. I want to see if they're gonna show her. Yeah. So this lady, she traveled. I thought it would be something with her on it, but I will insert this one particularly because I think this one shows good examples of how people leave Christianity and they go to the Ifa system. I mean, everybody turns up their noses, whatever, but I think it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice. People be searching for a lot of things. This is Santa Muerte as well. People worship Santa Muerte too on a large scale. So we're not getting away from the Orishas, but I'm just showing you Santa Muerte because she's part of the Latin religion. She's called Our Lady of Death in the Latin religion. I mean, people are scared by how she's depicted, but so are some of the Orishas. When the way their wooden statues look or whatever, fetishes, whatever, people have this idea that it's evil. It's not evil, because if you are a seeker of yourself, to know yourself, and you need to go find yourself, you need to go fetch, you need to go Sankofa to find yourself, you will go find yourself. Some people find themselves in different things, and different religions, different setups, Satanism, whatever the case may be. So, and I'm trying to find something where I won't get knocked out.
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, I'm really good.
I see it being shaky. Okay. Okay, we're going to talk about what the Ashe is. Ashe is the force, is the full force that runs through all things living in immediateness, described as the power to make things happen. It is an affirmation that is used in greetings, prayers, as well as a concept of spiritual growth. Orisha devotees strive to obtain Ashe through Iwa, Pele, and gentle good character. In turn, they experience alignment with the Ori, what others might call inner peace and satisfaction with life. Ashe is a divine energy that comes from Orumala, the creator, the destiny, is manifest through Olorun, who rules the heavens, which is associated with the sun. Without the sun, no life could exist, just as life cannot exist without some degree of Ashe. Ashe is sometimes associated with Eshu, the messenger of the Orisha. For practitioners, Ashe represents a link to the external presence of the supreme deity, the Orisha and the ancestors. The concept is regularly referenced in Brazilian capoeira. Ashe is in context is used as a greeting or farewell in songs as a form of praise, saying that someone that has Ashe in capoeira is a compliment and their energy, fighting spirit, and attitude. So the numbers, they also use numbers when reading people when they're divinating. Yoruba tradition often says that there are 400 plus one Orisha, which is associated with a sacred number. Other sources suggest that the number is as many as you can think of, plus one more, an innumerable number. Different oral traditions refer to 400 and 700 or 100, 4,000 Orishas, because there's many. There's not just a few that people talk about, right? Right, can't say all the names, so Baba Luaye is always mentioned. The Egungun, the Eshu, the Ibaja, the twins, the Oba, the Obatala, the Oduduwa, Ogun. These are all mentioned. Orumala, the Ori, Ochosi, Oshun, Oya. These are the ones that are mentioned mostly. in references to the Orishas. So yeah, I don't want my daughter to come in and interrupt me, so I'm going to just leave this one right here for the time being. Oops, I don't even know whether you can see the screen. Let me just drop this one. See, this is why people run to Nigeria to get initiation, because Nigeria is the place, the hub, because this is where most of the Orishas reside. So this is actually, I think, is on a level, because I've read it in books and they always refer to Yoruba land. That is the hub. That's one of the hubs, because there's quite a few hubs. So in the native religion of Yoruba people, Orisha, spell Orisha in Yoruba language, or Orisha in Cuban practices, Orisha in Brazilian practices, and Latin America. So however it's spelled, it's still Orisha. Our spirit sent by Arula. Oh, she's getting it. Sent by Arumala. Hold on a minute. Yeah, so with that said, I'm gonna come off because I gotta do stuff. So please subscribe, like, comment on the channel, and yeah, and maybe I might have to do another one, but if that be the case, I'm gonna let this one go on. That was the song of Yemaja by Ella Adele. She's a great priestess in Trinidad. So with that says, yeah, I'm gonna come off actually, because I think I've said my point. So yeah. So have a good day, good afternoon, take care, have a good day. Bye.